What up, everyone? In this video, I'm just going to be going over some changes of the code of the cleanup that I have made things, in my opinion, a little bit more readable than they were, and changed on my keys. So hopefully, I can go ahead and get those to be saved on uh, when we save and load, and the list will be saved. Still trying to figure that out, running into some problems still, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer. I got so that people kind of move forward when it's their turn, so you can tell who it is. I still don't have an end screen for my battle, but as you can see, my keys, they are still being into the list, and I can still unlock them. Um, and now I got it fixed. So when I save, there's no indication that I saved yet either. Uh, but we can close down the game and rerun it again, and then we can load it, and the doors will still be gone. Um, we'll still be at level 2. We still have our 300 bits. That key is gone, stays gone now. So let's just jump into the code and see all of the changes that I have made. So the very first one I was in is our parent classes for the heroes and the monsters. I left the NPC alone for now, but unfortunately, or fortunately, the NPCs also have all of these functions now. So it is what it is. But now all I have in my character classes are just the draw function, the move around for the main character, and then the turn. I still have to have two just for our screen, stat screen. I could not, it would not work the way I wanted to show up on the screen with just the one class. So both of them have a menu instance of them, and Jessie just has her turn in the way they draw. I took all the repeated functions and I put them up here in my parent class, which holds all of my stats, so I don't have to retype that every time I make a new character. These are my get state and set state dictionary functions, and I this is how I use to save currently. Um, this is how I do this to save currently. I still haven't figured it out with a list. And then this is how I load the images for the two characters. And then they both use the same level up function and the gain experience function. For their stats on the stats screen is just simply an elif statement saying with their name will be in different positions and their different stats. And then their rest is still the same. It's just healing up, and then unload the image if I need to, and then their attack. Once again, an elif statement, so I can have just slightly different damage rolls between the characters. And now that was simply simplified our classes. And for adding in new monsters, all as I really have to do is put their individual turns or their individual functions. Like I wanted the rat to move around, so the rat class has a move around function, and then just turn. And then all as I have to do for my fly class, monster class now is make an instance because I already have a turn. And as you can see, I can use a self attack even though I don't have one because I put that all into my monster class, my new monster parent class, which again has their battle X and their get state, set state, and the load their image. And once again, I just load the image based on the character's name, so it knows which image to load. Uh, and then the collision has always been the same, so that didn't need to change. And then their attack function can just be an elif statement if I want them to change, but it's damage, but it's pretty much gonna stay similar. Uh, damage because the stronger the enemies I make and the dexterity, depending on, they will still do different damage rates depending on what monster I'm fighting. So that is still working just fine. And then I draw them accordingly, still with the collision. And then if they're dead, the onload of the image, and then removing it from any hitbox it may be in because I don't want to keep running into them. So that was the major cleanup on my monster and player side. So now I don't have to bother retyping all those functions over and over when I get an idea for a new monster I want to fight or put in. Um, so the next big one I want to go over is my levels. Um, for the collected, I put the key ring in the collected class, so hopefully I can put it into its own, but I haven't figured out how to exactly do that quite yet. I might actually have an idea, maybe just make its key ring, but everything is going to be 0, and then uh, I'll just put key or whatever because it's not going to be, but everything else can be 0, and then maybe I can get it to call this function. I don't know. I still got thinking to do, but the other big change here was my chess class. Load it, chess collision collected, draw it on the screen, and then onload. Still pretty simple. Uh, so I can control how many bits I got if it's collected. Maybe I could even add a key, like some lock chests in there. These are my walls. Once again, they're get state and set state for the chests. And then how I load all the list of the images for the walls, and how I unload the walls, and my drawing and everything like that. The collision, so that way um, all of my things can draw, all of my instances can just draw the walls. And then here are my door collisions. These are all my walls. The small walls I want to do, the weird ores and everything for each of the rooms, and then my doors I need to put for what room. Uh, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Doors for room 1. Okay. And then this is the major change that I worked on. So now instead of having a bunch of images just like all the other ones, I'm using the room number and knowing which one. So first I decide what to load and handle the onload, and then this is my handle, my left and right, my so it's not both. And then I onload the images if I get to a certain point or increase this, and then it reloads. And then I did the same thing for the handle up and down instead of having it all under one function. And then my just change rooms is just those two functions. And then instead of having my starting room or the room, I have them all under their own room, so it's quicker to get to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I just draw all those rooms and then I update them. So that was the major change that I really have done. So now all my classes are starting to get a little bit better. They each have their own little functions, doing their own little things, uh, instead of a big long jumbled mess under one. So that was just what I basically wanted to go over. My code is starting to look a little cleaner. It's easier to start working on. I want to work on room 4, so I know I need to add to that one. They can have their own parameters without messing with other functions or rooms. So once again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.